know who you are? Do you know? Do you know where you're going to? Do you know the place where I do? Where are you? I don't know the words. Yeah. Okay, so these talking videos are so difficult because I ramble and I can never really get all of my thoughts out before the video ends. So join me as I ramble. We'll call this segment, Do You Know Who You Are? Yeah. Let's talk. Let's chat. Here goes. Hey, beautiful people. Who are you? Do you know? I was thinking, and there was a pulling in my spirit. Kind of like that restless feeling that you get when you know that there's something else you should be doing. It's overwhelming. It happens to me. I'm sure it happens to you. And I decided to make this video and really talk about who we are. Maybe we're who we think we are, maybe we're not. Simple awareness includes consciousness. We are conscious, moving, in some cases thriving, in other cases mediocre, in other cases wasting away. But we are, in essence, these machines intricately designed to move about, create experiences, enjoy, feel sadness, feel all of the range of emotions. And so we're here, I believe, by divine design. And what we do here, what we decide to become while we're here, because as James Royce puts it in this Man and His Nature writing, we are the sum total of our parts: spirit, mind, body, soul, psyche, consciousness, emotion. There's a whole lot of things that go into who we are. We're here in order to find ourselves, to find inside of ourselves that perfect God quality. There are no accidents. There are no coincidences. There are no, maybe this just happened at random. Everything has a reason in your life. We are mortal, but we are also immortal. Today, so many people get lost in fame and fortune and materialistic gain and beauty and riches and a fabulous lifestyle and popularity. And we're lost in those things. And the essence of who we are suffers because we're in this valley of materialistic greed and lust and all of these human emotions that come to distract us from who we really are. And so if we live our lives chasing after those things that are perishable, then everything is in vain. Our essence, our lives, our legacy is in vain. We are universal soul creatures. We are created in the image and the likeness of the divine source of love, the divine source of all that is. Think about that. Think about who you are. Think about why you are. It's much more than a house, a car, a family. It's much more than success and all of the things that you deem so important in this life. You are created to find your way back to divinity. But there's something that gets in the way. Along with all of the material things and the desires for everything materialistic in this earth and the desire for all of the human lowly carnal passions, there's something called ego. And ego comes and it forms itself in us, I believe, when we're very young. And it becomes such a part of us that it's very difficult to shed that egotistical part of yourself. That part of yourself that says, I am, I need, I want, I will pull from whatever source in order to be better myself. That part of yourself that tends to ignore another person's need in order to fulfill your own. Or maybe you are a person who will do kind things for other people, but the egotistical part of yourself says, take care of home first. Man is conscious of his own awareness. He's conscious of his own mortality, but yet, because of this awareness, he reaches out beyond himself to form relationships and to form bonds of which he knows, in the end, physically, they're all limited. But yet, this emotion was placed in us. This desire to know more, this desire to believe more, this desire to seek more. And in our seeking, we have these experiences that are not accidents. We form these bonds, we make these friends, we have these lovers and these passions in our hearts. And those relationships move us from point A to point B in the journey to self-discovery and returning to our divine nature. What does it mean to be alive? Is it because we have all of our senses, our thinking capabilities, our ability to reason and to move about and do things? How do you know right now, at this minute, that you're alive, that you're here? Is it because you can touch something? Everything is tangible to you? Because if man is not always at every single moment using every single ability he has, is he alive? Are we alive because we move? Are we alive because we think? Are we alive because at this moment I'm sitting here talking to you? Does that make me alive? Spiritually, we can argue that we're only alive if we are making an impact, a positive impact on the world. We are only alive if we perpetuate love and perpetuate positivity. Of course, medically or physiologically, you're alive if you're moving, if you're breathing, and if you have a brain, and if it's working, and your heart is beating, you're alive. But deeper than that, we occupy space. Scientifically, we have presence. You're there, I'm here. I occupy this space in this time, now, in this moment. You're there, you occupy that space now, in this moment. And this moment here is now. It will mold what will happen 2 minutes from now. It was molded by what happened 2 minutes ago. So that everything we do, our past, our present, our future, is all one. Ego tells us that everything is separate. I'm separate from you. My present is separate from my past. My future is separate from my present. But as I exist now, I exist in the future. Mortally speaking, our mortality will cause us to age. Some of us maybe to put on weight or to change in the physical sense. But the essence of who you are right now will carry on into the future. The essence of who you are right now was. And the essence of who you are right now has no beginning and no ending. I don't want to seem like I'm all off the wall. And maybe what I'm saying is just all over the place. But I've learned when I have a feeling to speak on things like this, it's bigger than myself. It is the spirit part of me that says, now is the time. It is the spirit part of me that says, spread the word, share the truth. And so that's all this is. I don't know any more than anybody else. But what I do know is there is something more. There has always been something more. And that task, it's our task, each individual, it's our task to find who we are. Remember who we were. Ego destroys the spirit. Ego causes you to make excuses for bad behavior. Ego causes you to not question the part of yourself that says, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I shouldn't do that. Ego causes you to ignore that. It gives you a sense of entitlement. It gives you a sense that people in the world should love you. Ego says, I am lovable, which is true, because what ego does is it gives you this kind of sort of half-truth, which says, I am a lovable person. You know that you're a lovable, sweet person with good intentions. And so what ego does with that is it says, because I am a lovable person, because I know that my intentions are pure towards people, then I deserve to have those types of people in my presence. I deserve to be adored because of those qualities that I possess. The moment you destroy that idea of deserving something, then you can be free. The moment you cease to categorize yourself as someone who deserves something. We are all on this planet that is billions of years old, and we are all trying to make a mark, trying to make a legacy, trying to figure this thing out. No one deserves any more than the next person. And life will give you what you're prepared to deal with. You may think that you're not prepared to deal with anything horrible or horrific or tragic or hurtful or painful or diminishing to your spirit. But if it happens, you were ready. You were ready for it. And it comes to destroy the ego man and build the spirit man. I'm on YouTube because I have natural hair and I wanted to make a channel to share my journey, my hair journey, to make vlogs and to share different things. I tend to do a little makeup every now and then. I'm not a makeup artist, just an enthusiast from time to time. So I'm on this YouTube platform to do those things, but at the same time, I'm a very spiritual person, and what you don't see on this format of YouTube are people who will challenge your spirit being, people who will say, let's put this to the side and let's really talk about who we are. Let's talk about what life is, what it should be, what we should be preparing ourselves for. So you'll see a lot of these kinds of videos from me. I hope that they appeal to you, and I understand if they don't. But I feel that it's so important to gather those thoughts within ourselves and be able to live our lives knowing that our ultimate destiny is to find ourselves at one again with the divine spirit. How do we go there? This is the journey. How do we get there? Sometimes you have to move out of your own way. If there is a negative force, a negative entity, you will find that the only way this negative entity has power over you is through your own voice. Let's think about that. Your voice will tell you no one loves you. You're hated. You don't live up to par. You're not good enough. That's the voice. That's negative. And you start to believe it. And you lose your progress. That is the part of ourselves that we have to learn to put to sleep, or ultimately to destroy altogether, because you don't need those negative thoughts in your head. You don't need the negative voices telling you that you're not good enough, or that you're not loved, or that no one loves you, or or you got to be better. This society makes us think that we have to be a certain way. I'm not going to be accepted unless I look like this. I'm not going to be accepted unless I have this type of education, or I have this much money. Lies. Lies. You are what you think you are. And you hear that all the time, and it's cliche, and it sounds like, oh, yada, yada, yada. But you are really what you think you are. Think yourself into wholeness. Think yourself into positivity. Think yourself into beauty. Kill the ego. Destroy it. I feel like I've been all over the place with no real cohesiveness to what I'm saying. I hope there has been, but I'm just saying thoughts as they come to me. Like I said, I've been reading this book by James E. Royce, Man and His Nature. Awesome, awesome book. And I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. And I'll come again, because these types of videos, these talking videos, get really, really long, really, really, really long, and probably boring. So I don't want to bore you for too long. But I'll come back, and there'll be a lot more videos like this where I'll come and just say what's on my mind. And even with this, I'll continue my thoughts on life and who we are and our soul. And I'm going to get into the soul. I'm going to get into your soul, who we are soul-wise. And we're going to talk about that as well. There's no real way to end this, because I'm really not through. I'm really not finished talking about some things. But leave your comments below. What do you want to talk about? What are some things that you have learned about who you really are? Why are we here? What your destiny is, what your purpose is. And we'll talk about it. I keep everything in a journal. I have several journals. I have so many journals that are just full with me writing. And it's a good thing to write your ideas down. And I have this now that I think was really cute. A Dream Big journal that I kind of jot down. It's my little space keeper here, the book. But yeah, get you a journal, write down your thoughts. Your thoughts, again, are your inner voice. It could be positive or negative. So maybe I'll call this a series of deep thoughts. And we'll continue to discuss about life. Life and living. And the pursuit of happiness. Guys, I love you, and thanks for listening to me, and until next time, be good to yourselves, and love yourselves, and stay positive, and pray, seek, never stop seeking, never stop seeking.